Hello everyone, I'm Vishesh, and right now we're starting with Lab 3. So we have already completed Lab 1 and Lab 2, and now we start with Lab 3. Don't worry about this, I've already completed this, but I'm going to do it again with you. So I'll just click it and I should be on this page. So now when I'm on this page, I will read it out first before starting, because that's obviously a good practice to actually read the documentation of what does it say. Obviously we're going to do it here, but it's a good practice that we read it first and understand what it says. But now I'll click start lab, and only start the lab once you have enough time to do it, because there's only a few times, like 5 times is the maximum in the span of this 1 month you can restart a lab without credits. Alright, now that we are here, what we are actually going to do here is we are going to use Vertex AI, which is kind of a workbench, but also a integrated AI system in Google Cloud, which can be used to do various AI things, such as code generation, image generation, and a lot of things. So we're going to explore that. But before exploring that, I just want to open the Google Cloud console, and then I'll password, then I'll paste it, and I'll click I understand, and I've already opened my Google Cloud console. So we just need to talk about a bit about this. So when we were doing the LLM video, we talked about Palm API, which is an API by Google to actually interact with the language generation and everything. So it can do language generation, text generation, and a lot of other things. So this is what we are going to use here, and we talked about 0, 1, and a few short programming in our LLM video. So I hope you watched that video before watching this. So we'll come to our console, and the first thing that we need to do, you need to see that if you are really doing it right. So there are a few things that you need to look at. So now we start with the task 1, that is Vertex AI Workbench. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to search here for Vertex API, Vertex AI. So this should be your this should be the one we're talking about. So, and we'll click enable all recommended APIs. You can obviously search that in the library window, but I think this is a better way and a faster way to do it. Now when we are here, what we need to do is we need to come here to Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we need to come to user managed workbooks. Okay, we need to go to the workbench, right? I forgot that part. Alright, so now when we are here, you can close this, but okay, this is a very good thing. You can actually see what is introduction to AI. It is a good documentation to tell you about it. So if you're really geeky, you can just go and read. It's a good practice to understand. Then we'll go to user managed notebooks, and then we should be seeing an interface like this. So it already has a notebook generated for us. So we'll click open Jupyter Lab, and then we'll wait. So it'll take a minute or two to load depending on your internet connection, so don't get alarmed if it doesn't load up for you really quick. Now when we are here, what we need to do is we need to go to the generative AI folder. This should be there for everyone. If you're following the steps, this should be common for each and every one of you. Now when we are here, we need to go to language, and then we need to go to prompts. So you should be seeing something like this. I'll repeat again, or you can just go back. So we need to go to generative AI, we need to go to language, we need to go to prompts, and then we need to be here. Now we need to click this notebook. So if you double click, it should open something like this, and I'll just check if we are doing it right. This is what we should do. Now here we can do two things. Now first let me explain what we are doing. So we went to the Vertex AI Workbench, where we're building the AI applications, and then what we did is we went to a Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook is actually something where we run Python code. So all of this code that you see is Python. So this is nothing fancy. This is nothing too much if you don't understand. So this is everything that is Python. We'll also be doing a class like after Cloud Jam or in between to give you a boot camp of Python. So we can also have a boot camp of Python just to give you a good understanding of Python. For those who don't know, for those who know this, you may understand what the code is all about, but I'll just give you an overview. So here's a quicker way, and here's a way where you actually understand things. For the people who just want quicker, they just want to complete it quick, what you can do is you can click anywhere where it says, so something like here, I clicked it here, and then what I'll do is I'll do Control A. So it should select all of it. Just make sure it selects. So just make sure it selects all of it, and then the quicker way is you just restart the kernel first. This is the restart button. You restart it and then you run it. So it should show you that it is actually running the things. So something like this. We'll just wait for it to complete, and it might take a minute, so I'll just pause the video. Right, so it has now completed for me. So it says idle means it's not doing anything. So now when I'm here, actually I've completed it. So what I can do, if I want the quicker way, I can just go ahead and click check my progress, and it will be the same for all of you. I'll just do one of them so you can see that it's working. So I'll just do check my progress, and it should give me a tick mark here. But what if you need to understand that what it actually does, I'm going to tell you what it is. Now I'll come to the notebook again. So this is actually prompt design, where everything that you do on ChatGPT, you are giving prompts to ChatGPT to give you responses. So that's what we are doing here, right? So SDK, we are actually installing the Vertex AI SDK that we talked about. It is what is integrated into Google Cloud, but we are actually calling it. We are making sure that it is present in this notebook that we are working on, right? So we just make it pip install. So if you had done C or C++ in college, you must know that we use header files to install files, right? Like include iostream.h or something like that. So that is what we are doing here. So now you don't need to read all of this, but this would not work because we haven't really uncommented it, so you don't need to worry about that. But if you need to really understand what's happening, you can understand it right here. So the prompt was, what do you think be a good time of flower shop that's specialized in selling bouquets of dried flowers more something. So what we give it a prompt that is pure string, and then we gave it a print instruction which said generate model, and then we give prompt as an input, and we said max output token should be 256. Remember the tokens that we did? We gave it a temperature and a token. This is what the tokens that we're talking about, right? So we want the generation in .text. That's what we did. So it is asking for a name, and it gave us some names, and we made sure that the prompt that we gave was pretty descriptive, that they are specialized in selling bouquet of dried flowers more than fresh flowers. So something like this. And if you don't want this explanation, you can just next to the next chapter, that is task 3. I have actually mentioned the chapters, so you can skip there. Alright, so you can see that this is happening. This is giving us some name, and same for everything. Sell bouquet, and you can actually read this and say and see that with every prompt, the way you are writing the prompt, your answers differ. So it actually depends on how well you write the prompt and how well you get the answers. So more than fresh flowers is something like this, like they are specializing in selling bouquet of dried flowers, not fresh flowers. So all you can see is dried and lovely, dried blossoms, dried floral, something like that. And something only dried flowers, something like sells bouquet of dried flowers, not the fresh flower part. So you can see this. So this is what it does. And then you need to, and it says tell me about Earth and a lot of things. So you can actually skim through this and see what it actually does. And if you want to do it by yourself, you can just click shift enter, go to your prompt and just click shift enter, and it will run it one by one. So you can start running it one by one if you want to, if you prefer it that way. But I just got a very cool shortcut from one of my friends, and I'm using that, right? So this is what you do, and you can actually see what it means. If you want an explanation for this, I would make another video so that you can actually understand what is happening. One shot, few shot, we discussed this in our LLM video, so you can actually understand what's happening. Right now, when task 2 is done, I'll just click check my progress for all, and it will work because we have run the cells. This is, if you run the cells well, this should be your output. It would say assessment completed for all of them. Right, now it says assessment completed for all of them. Now we'll come to task 3. So task 3 says that we need to go to the examples. So where is examples? This is where we want to come. Now choose any notebook of your choice. I am choosing ideation. So this is giving me this, and you should be like, you can explore any one of them, you should actually explore every one of them if you really want to understand what's happening. But I'm just going to stick with ideation, and then I'll just click command A, the same thing that I did. I'll restart the kernel, and then it has restarted, and then I'll click. Okay, that's working now. So I put control A, and then I run all the cells, and now it is executing. So this is what we ideally want. We'll just wait for it to execute. Alright, so now it has executed. So I'll just give you a bit of an idea of what we are doing. So here we are importing a text generation model. So we are generating text, and we did that in the previous notebook also. So we need to generate a marketing campaign for sustainability and fashion, and we are now giving it a temperature, the output tokens, top K and top P. If you remember that from the LLM video, you understand what top K and top P are. So this is what should be able to do. This is actually Chat GPT, but we made it on our own. We know how it actually works, how Chat GPT works, what is temperature, what is max output tokens, top K, top P, and everything. So this is what is, we are giving you an insight into the all the generation parts that is happening, all the generation stuff that is very cool these days. So this is what you do. It is also giving you interview question, all the homeworks that you ask for and everything. This is what is. You can even edit the prompt if you like. You can say something like I need a essay on something, and it will give you an essay, and you can adjust the temperature. Go ahead. This workbench, this Google Cloud Console is only with you for 1 month, so be sure to explore it all you want. So now that we have run it, we'll go back and we'll click check my progress, and we'll just wait for it to happen. Alright, so it has complete assessment has completed for me. So I'll go down, and I have completed this lab. Now before ending this lab, I just need you to understand that you can go ahead and really see what is happening in these things. Question and answering, text classification, these examples are a very good way to understand generative AI, and it would give you an insight into generative AI and its inside working. So if you really understand what is generative AI, what does it do, it will help you a lot in understanding the AI concepts. So this is what our aim is, to make you understand Google Cloud, but at the same time also help you understand the AI part of the things, where the revolutionized world is going. So it would be a good practice to do so. But if you're only here to complete the notebook, go ahead, you're more than welcome. I've added the chapters. You can just skip to the chapters for every video that I'm making, and you can complete the notebooks in like 10 minutes. So that's your choice, but I would suggest you to really understand what is happening and go ahead, play with your notebooks and see how well you can do with it. Thank you so much. Meet you in the next video. So before that, I'll just end this lab, and this is how you know that you have completed the lab. You can give it a rating, and then if you go back, you can see that your third lab is completed. It was already completed for me, but I did it again. So yeah, you did it. All right.